Okay, the purpose of this video is to show you the Tesseract application and some of the expert system functionality that you can implement using XBRL. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to load this Microsoft 10K for 2017. I've been working with this one for a while. It's going to take about 30 seconds, 40 seconds to load here. This report has 194 separate little pieces. The pieces are combined into a financial report, set of disclosures. And so here is the report. So I'm going to show you, there's some interesting things going on that you aren't even aware of right now. So for example, it's noticing that something here, and I'm going to get to this in a second. I'll show you this first. So here, this is a state. This application has a state machine built in, so it understands the state. So the state of the cursor is that it's in the document information section, as opposed to, if I click here, it knows that it's in the income statement. If I click here, it knows that it's in the balance sheet, cash flow statement, or the inventory disclosure. So there's some stuff going on that you're not seeing. We'll get to that. So what I'm going to do now is validate the entire document. You do that with 2 clicks. Click 1 to open up this validation selection window. Click Run, and what's happening is there is a boatload of metadata that is being used, and the application is verifying that the report is consistent with that metadata. So first, you can see that the report is, the XBRL syntax is as expected. This little icon is green. The model structure, which basically is the relationship between these different types of report elements: networks, tables, axes, members, line items, abstracts, and concepts. The parent-child relationship, you can see that there are only relationships where there's green. If there was a relationship in the orange, it means that it's illegal and illogical. If it's in the yellow, it is considered not a best practice. So Microsoft has all their presentation relations consistent with what is expected. The type class relations, I'm going to pass on that right now, but basically it makes sure that you organize concepts correctly. They did. The fundamental accounting relations, if you go here, you'll see that about 20 or 25 relations are all consistent with what is expected. Now, for example, revenues minus cost of revenues does in fact equal gross profit. There's the numbers it found. It checked all those relationships to make sure that they're fundamentally correct. Okay, so then you go to the disclosure mechanics. We'll select all that are consistent, and you can see that it's testing. I'm not testing all 194 components. I'm testing less than that because I don't have rules for everything yet. But you can see all the different pieces. You can see the disclosures that are tested. And so here we have a yellow icon. Everything else is green. This is yellow. So why is it yellow? So I showed you the agenda. I will click that there. And what's happening is that we didn't find a nature of operations disclosure in the Microsoft report. So I'm not saying that Microsoft did anything wrong. I'm saying that per the rules that we have for this application, we did not find a nature of operations disclosure, and the application picked that up and reported it to us. So another way to see this is to do this. Okay, so let's go to the inventory disclosure. So there is the component of inventory disclosure. I'm going to delete that. And you notice that there's another line item in the agenda. It's like if I deleted it, it doesn't exist in the application, so it knows that it needs to be on the agenda to be completed because it does not exist. So there's basically a machine-readable reporting checklist, that is watching over the report, and if you don't create something that is required per the rules that are in this system, the application lets you know. So here, again, I'm going to go to the goodwill disclosure. I'm going to delete that. And again, it pops up into the agenda. So you can see that the disclosure mechanics are incorrect, that's because there is a level 3 text block, but there is no level 4 detail because I deleted it. But here's the text block. So that's what's going on there. So I'm going to rerun this. And you'll see that here in the disclosure mechanics validation that it found the level 3 text block, but it didn't find the level 4 detail. So there's a lot going on here with the application. The application is smarter than it might appear. The reason that it knows that the inventory and goodwill disclosures are required is because on the balance sheet you have the line item for inventories. There's the fact. There's the report element, labels, references. So it knows, because of a rule in this checklist, that the inventory disclosure is required. If the line item is reported, then the disclosure is necessary. So that's how that works. So that's also one. I'll show one other thing. The way that this works is that we have all this metadata that points to the rules, and you don't have to do any of this. It comes configured, or you can create new rules or create your own rules. This is 100% modifiable, and that's basically how all this works. So I will call that good and stop at this point.